Hi, I'm Brian Midway, and I'm talking about this processing revelation. There we go. And introduced it in the last one, and I'm not going to go over that now, but I'm just going to go through the stages in this process because I think it's good to get an overview. And we're talking about what is meant to happen between God and something He says that talks about something He wants to happen, and so He makes it known through what He says. And so the first thing is that I get it from a Bible story, and this says I know the Bible story and I can retell it. Now, please don't think that we're just playing games with this or trivializing the Bible, but I want you to take seriously the fact that the message from heaven comes in the form of a story, something that happened. So there are 1,400 and something of them I counted in the Bible. That's a rough count. The thing is, when you go to get revelation, make sure you know the story so that the message comes from the context provided by the story, not by some other thing that we've invented. Okay, first one. Second one is understand the message of the story. So you get the story, you can tell the story, then you think about the message. Don't think about the message until you can tell the story. So when you get the story, you can get the message. The third part of this revelation process is I have obeyed the message. There's no such thing as revelation where it's just we hear what God says and don't do it. That's not revelation. We don't get the revelation by just hearing the word. We only get the revelation by going and doing it. It is always much bigger than just the word that describes it. Next one is I've experienced the fulfillment of the story in some way. As I've obeyed that message, something has happened in the purpose of God that is the fulfillment of that. I'm not saying everything or whatever else, but something, some fulfilling thing. The next one, I can tell my fulfillment, hang on, let's get this right. I can tell my fulfillment story in a simple way. That is, I can take the message that's in this story and I could tell my own story of that. There it is. I can tell my story of that revelation. What happened when I obeyed? You get a lot of theories, but they're not worth much, So it's only any good if you obey. And here is the one that you probably aren't thinking about, because I reckon Jesus said, "Freely have you received, freely give." And so if you've received something, it's not just so you can have a story about it, so you can give to somebody else. So it says here, I have helped somebody else discover this message of the story for themselves. Now, not just discovering my message, not getting my story, but getting their own message, their message from the story. Not any message, but the message from the story. And then the next stage is I have heard somebody have a go at this, get the message, obey the message, and tell me what happened when they obeyed. That's the story, the fulfillment story. And I've encouraged that person to tell somebody else about their story and keep the process going. This is how this revelation process, it's not a personal little world. It is actually part of a big plan, a process. And so I want you and I want me to be involved in this kind of process. And we're going to go through these and I'm going to explain what they mean. But, please, please, please have a listen to this and please have a go at it, because I think you'll find this is much more in keeping with everything that you read in the Bible, much more in keeping with the Bible story as a whole, much more in keeping with the purpose of God as a whole. And so you and I can, participate in this big plan, that this kingdom of God that starts out as a little bit of yeast influences the whole loaf, the whole bunch of flour. The little seed that starts out in the ground becomes a tree and birds come and nest in its branches. This is the seed in good soil that multiplies 30, 60 or 100 times. And so this is the way the kingdom of God works. And I'm not going to talk about the kingdom of God today, but I'm talking about how this whole issue of revelation fits in with this. And it isn't just about reading the Bible, and it isn't just about getting some nice little experience of your own. It's about a multiplying experience through generations. Let's have a go at that. Let's have a go.